think for us it's kind of 17 people in our class. And during a normal class setup, it's kind of like 17 of us sitting in a circle. And lots of kind of dialogues, lots of talking to people, talking to each other. And it's not, how are you, how's your day? It's not that type of talk. It's kind of all...
We've done those check-ins once or twice, haven't we?
It's kind of questions that help you to experience the theory, help you to really understand the theory through experiencing it. And like I said before, you kind of like experience lots of joy sometimes, and sometimes very challenging. It kind of makes you want to run away or go away, and sometimes very angry, and sometimes very grateful. It's kind of just whole lots of experience, but every dialogue, it kind of helps you to understand the theory more. So you're not really learning by reading or learning by writing or learning by listening to what the lecturer taught. It's kind of you're learning by really experiencing what Gestalt is, and also through having those conversations with my 17 classmates, I built like really, really meaningful relationships, like really deep relationships, and it transformed me as a person. And I've got a community that, which is like very, very important for my life. And I'm learning how to be with people, be with myself, and most importantly, learning Gestalt.
Yeah, there's the safe enough thing. There's something very potent about a mode of learning where you're really being like, forced is not the right word, but, directed to spend time in closeness with people whom you may be afraid of or attracted to or weirded out by, and just to be present with what's going on. And, all this experiential practice is the driving thing. And I think there's also something significant to mention about the way the space is organised in the group. Like we have never sat in rows looking at a presenter. It's in circle, and sitting in circle really, it mirrors the non-hierarchical nature of the practice and the theory. We're all here as equals. We're not. Yeah, there's no uneven footing in the spatial arrangement of bodies in the room.
Yeah.
Very potent about a mode of learning where you're really being like, forced is not the right word, but, directed to spend time in closeness with people whom you may be afraid of or attracted to or weirded out by, and just to be present with what's going on. And, all this experiential practice is the driving thing.
GTA is a great organization. Like all the staff you interact, like I interacted with, everyone was the most lovely person. It's kind of like just lovely, helpful, patient, and they were like willing to help. Compared to what I experienced in the outside world, just growing up academically, it's kind of all the rules and everything is held very rigidly, but nobody wants to follow it. Everyone's kind of trying to escape from the rules or kind of find a shortcut to kind of like get a good mark or kind of like study before the exam, blah, blah, blah. It was held very rigidly, but no one wants to follow it. But here is kind of like everything is held very loosely, but loosely I don't mean there's no structure, there's no guidelines, like everything is super clear, but you don't feel like you need to... Let's put it this way, it's kind of the structure is there, but it made you feel that it held very loosely and you won't be punished if you don't follow it. However, everyone's kind of like making their biggest effort to fully dedicate to the course. And I've never taken the course so seriously, and I don't even want to miss one single minute of the course. And it has been an absolutely joyful experience. Just reading all the course materials, it was like my heaven. Writing the essay, I like them. I like every single minute I spend in class. It could be, it's the best experience that I couldn't ever imagine. It's like, I like a lot of the times I sit in the course and they kind of like I just want to cry because it's just like a wonderful course, a wonderful setup, and the people are amazing, and the setup is amazing. It's like it's just feel like living a dream, like studying here. Yeah.
That's very beautiful. I do feel like I have some responsibility to caveat all this glowing praise with the reality that it is intense. And I imagine Ming and I are very lucky in that we have a lot of supports in our lives to help us process what goes on in the classroom. But it really is an experience that the learning will permeate all of your life, and it will challenge all of it.
It's really not a didactic way of learning, so nobody's giving lectures, and the emphasis of these workshops are not on theories. So the theories are learned through reading the reading materials beforehand or afterwards. But during the workshops, we are mostly doing group process, large or small groups. And during those group process, it's dialogic. It's people talking to people and process our feelings and the thoughts and the awareness. And through that, we really experience what we learn in the readings. And I think what's also special is that in these group processes, we really have the time and take time to slow down when there are things that are feelings from any member that are prominent in the field. We don't just ignore it and carry on with the agenda. We really take time to process it and not leave it later. And it's yes. So I think that's also what I learned a lot from this learning is that there's nothing to be rushed. Although there's a structure, but when there's something important, prominent that comes up, we take care of it.
And that spaciousness extends to the larger trajectory as well. Like I've never been in study where so much time is given to allow things to be somatically processed. And like at the end of year residential, that was us spending 2.5 days ish just saying goodbye to each other, and it was fantastic. Yeah.
And the opening weekend is like us spending 2 or 3 days arriving together for the group. Yeah, I agree with Georgia. I never felt like rushed. It's kind of everything's taken very slow. But because it's slow, it allows the space and allow the depth of the conversations and the learning. Never experienced that anywhere else.
What you were saying, it's been an amazing year of study, and
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I want to say that we were talking about the most important, the fundamental thing about this course for me is the people. It's just that's just you can't get that experience from any other courses. In no other courses that you may have a good relationship with our classmates in any courses, but this this depth of relationship that you are with a group of people. No other courses emphasize on this. They may theoretically talk about interpersonal skills or whatever, but the focus of their courses is the focus of our course is on this actual ongoing what's here and now happening between people.
The process.
Yeah, the process.
Yeah.
So you really experience in the process of that. And my experience in my group it was such brilliant, genuine, and warm people that I experienced. And not just in my own group, and also in the whole school. Just, I just wonder. I mean, there are really good people everywhere, but just such a high density concentration. Yeah, so it's like that is like in a dream. For me, it's like having a warm bath. That's the metaphor I use. Every time when I came here, it's like really having a warm bath for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really think that experience you can't get anywhere else.
And then I might add to that. I feel like now I'm going to become the other bookend to your to your bookend, Sam. Just to add something about my experience of the learning and what has made Gestalt learning different to other processes where I've undertaken learning. It's definitely the group process is a big part of that. There's dedicated time, there's theory that comes with the learning, and then there is, as the course progresses, skill development. So in these opportunities to dialogue with an observer or a facilitator, you start to learn more about using those skill sets. But it's the group process when you come together and you work out interpersonally what's happening as a group, like you're speaking about, Jojo, that holds so much power. I heard you say earlier, it's like so much more powerful than therapy, doing group process. And there's these dedicated weekends where we have themes. So it's a held space, again, utilising the field theory to create a container where we have an opportunity to explore deeper themes. And that group process has been just as profound for me, and not always as easy. Jojo as a warm bath.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, and I'm now, from where I'm sitting now, so grateful for all of those experiences because they have taught me, it's been so rich in the learning. And I heard a wise man once say that some people come kicking and screaming into awareness. And that might have been my experience with some things that were really challenging for me to learn, to create space in myself to hold that complexity that you mentioned earlier, Ming. But the learning, and to top that off, in the learning experience, it's not only in the doing as a student and with your peers, it's the modelling that comes with the facilitators. You have experienced Gestalt facilitators. Every session that they're facilitating, they're modelling, and not just in the sense of modelling, it's their lived experience of how they are, how they meet the other, how they hold the space. As well as what they say. It's this embodied lived experience that is teaching you when you don't even know you're being taught.
Yeah. It's a warm bubble bath with an occasional jagged rock hiding under the surface. You might find.
Yeah, there's definitely challenges. There's definitely an invitation to challenge.
Yeah, safe enough, right?
Yeah, and there's choice. It's very choiceful. But it can be provocative if you're not used to that level of unpacking and understanding how we are in relationship and in the world. But a great opportunity for transformation.